my channel. Thanks for joining me. I am here with my coffee and my laptop and my positivity cards, which I've been taking photos of, which is really good, and they're coming out on Instagram next year, starting from January the 1st, so look out for those. But guys, make sure you're subscribing to my channel. Today we are talking about my to-do list, or my bucket list as I like to call it, for next year, and also for the one that I've already completed this year. So stay tuned. Coffee. I always have to have a visual in order to help me succeed in the things that I want to succeed in. So I always have to have lists. Lists are, I mean, I have hundreds of lists, and I will show you how many lists I've got in my little, I think it's called ColorNote. It's amazing, honestly. I will put as many lists in there as possible. Honestly, but you can tick things off and you can go through your lists and you can complete the list, delete the list, do what you want with them. So I use ColorNote to set myself up for the year. So I will have a list which is dedicated to that year specifically. So I've been doing this since I think 2015 or something. And I will create a list that is specific to that year, which I've just said, and it will be named 2022, 2023, the next one after that will be 2024, and it will have all of the things that I want to accomplish within that year. So I might, sometimes I don't even know what's going to go on that list, and I will just see how it goes, and I will add to it as I go through that year. So it's not you know, you don't have to put too much pressure on yourself with this list. I call it a bucket list because if I called it a to-do list, chances are I wouldn't do any of the things that were on the list, because to me, to-do list sounds too, that's too much pressure. That's just too much pressure for me. So I like to call it a bucket list because that, in my head, a bucket list is something that you want to do. It's something that you want to achieve. So if I do a bucket list for every year, then it's more likely that I'm going to achieve what's actually on the list. So for this year, so for 2022, this is my list that I have created, or at least that I've ticked off everything. Literally, everything's ticked off that list. So I'm really chuffed that I haven't actually got anything on the list that needs to be pulled over to next year. But if there was things on there that I hadn't quite ticked off this year, I'd just pull that over into next year's list and we would just continue with it. Because it keeps your ideas alive, and the things that you want to do, it keeps that in your mind. For me, I will just go, oh, I really want to do that. Oh, that sounds really cool. Oh yeah, we'll do that. And then it never happens. So I am essentially making things like that happen for myself so that it's always there and I'm always going back over it. And okay, I may not have completed it this year, but next year we'll have a look. We'll see if we can make it happen. So for 2023, I have started my list. It is extremely small. It's just here. But it is the start of something that's going to sort of progress over the next few weeks and also into next year as well, as my ideas come out and as I start sort of thinking about what I need to achieve to get to where I want to be. So the things that I tend to put on this list are, like I say, things that I want to achieve. So for instance, on my list for this year, I have things to do with my vlog, and you know, the fact that I want to keep posting up as often as I can. I'm going to try and do one every single month. I would like to do more than that, but obviously, I mean, I say obviously, you might not even know. I started a new job recently, and it's all on me. There's no other team members, and it's kind of the first time that I've ever been in this situation. So I'm taking that as it comes, and I'm enjoying it as it goes. But it's still, you know, early days, and I think next year is going to be, you know, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge, but we'll take it on. It's great. That's fine. Don't worry. I'll be fine. Also, I want to go away with my friend who we haven't been away together since we were both 18. We went to Disneyland Paris with the college, and we had such a blast. It was so much fun. But we need to do it again because it's been too many years. So I've got that on the list, and I've got lots of other things that are on the list, and lots of things that I'm still conjuring up and thinking that what I want to achieve for the next year. So, once you've created all of the things that you want on your list, or at least you've started something, you've got 3 or 4 things, you don't even need to have that many things. But if you've got a few things on that list that you want to achieve by the end of the year, you've at least got a list. It's physical. It's in front of you, and you can see exactly what it is that you need to achieve. So for me, that is what is most important. It's something that I can go back to, because my mind flicks off and goes off on a tangent and says, yeah, that'd be cool. And I forget about it. Now I've got something that actually tells me, look, you said you wanted to do this. Let's go and do it. So I have that there. So when you have that and you've got it and it's on your phone, it could just be on a bit of paper that's in your wallet. Just something that is with you all the time, something that you can refer back to as often as possible. I tend to look at mine maybe once or twice a week. I tend to fluctuate depending on when I need to think about the list and when I am actually thinking about the list. So do try and look at the list as often as you possibly can. Have it somewhere with you all the time so that you can look back at it. So it will give you a bit of a focus, and it will sort of guide you through the year to say that, yeah, we want to do this, so we're going to make the plans to do this. Now, you can do that as an individual, you can do that just for yourself, or you can do it involving your partner or your family as well. And, make it good, make memories, this is what it's for, is to make those memories and ultimately have something to remember over the year, through the rest of your life. Now I'm at the end of 2022, and this is when I'm starting to write that list for next year. So I will analyse what I've done with the year previous, and I'll have a look and see if there's anything that I haven't ticked off the list. I will see if there is anything that I can do now before the end of the year, and if there is, I'll go out and do it. If there's things that, it may take a bit of planning, like going on holiday or something like that, I know that's not going to happen before the end of the year, so I'll just basically just pop that into next year's list, and I won't put any pressure on that, because I know that, we didn't get to do it this year, never mind, we'll try next year. And it sort of pushes it on, so although you might not have completed the ones that you really, really wanted to, you can pull it into next year and you can go, we can just try it this year. And again, if it doesn't happen that year, it's all right. We can just push it into the next year. But it keeps it visual and it keeps it there so that you know that that's what you want to achieve at some point. It doesn't have to be within that year. You don't have to put that much pressure on it. You can just move it into the next year, and it will make it a lot easier, a lot more relaxed around that list. This is why I don't call it a to-do list. Now, I do this so that I can see what I've achieved throughout the year, and what I might do is go through the list, and if I haven't added to the list things that I've achieved, I will put that on the list and I'll mark it off because we've done it, but it's something that I have done and it wasn't on the list, so it's something else that I've achieved, it's something else that we've done together, or another memory that I've made. And then when I go back over these lists in 20 years time, I can go, oh wow, we had such a great time that day. And it helps to build memories and to talk to your family and things like this, to remember what you've done with each year. And I just think it's a great way to keep you positive and keep you moving forward and looking at the great things that you can do with your life. So this is basically my little talk through of how I prepare myself for the new year and to keep my upbeat, positive nature, and to keep pushing myself on and keep looking for the positives and keep going with all the things that I want to achieve in my lifetime. it will be on the list at some point. But guys, have a go. See how you get on. There's no stupid answer. Obviously, you just put whatever you want on that list, whatever you want to achieve by the end of the year. So start this year. Start with a list of things that you said you wanted to achieve this year. When it, you know, after Christmas last year in January, when you're like, yes, new me, way. That's the things that you would have thought of in that moment in time. You need to write those things that you didn't achieve this year on that list, ready for next year. And it will gear you up, I promise. It will gear you up to make those things happen. Just make sure you keep looking at the list. Make a habit of it, right? Okay. So guys, that's basically all I have for today, but I do hope you have a fantastic Christmas and a wonderful New Year's Eve. Make sure you look after yourselves, don't drink too much, don't get yourself into any trouble, and I will see you all in the new year. Take care, bye bye.